Well, we got more volleyball coming your way on the beach, and a biggie with Texas and Hawaii doing battle right here on Spectrum Sports. 6:30 p.m. on Tuesday is when our coverage will begin for you.
They won 3 matches today. They have 2 matches tomorrow. We could play Cal at 11:30 tomorrow. They have 1 match tomorrow. It's Cal.
Out of the timeout, David with the serve, and he sends it long. Good decision there by Chaz Galloway to let it by. Hawaii trailing by 4. And we're going to see a substitution here, C-Mac, as Philip Umler comes into the match, replacing Chaz Galloway. Umler, the 6'7" senior from Czech Republic, has played just 5 sets this season. But Charlie Wade recognizes this guy, when he is right, one of the best out-of-system finishers for Hawaii. That set was a little tight to the pin, so Knight had to go left-handed. Here's Umler's first swing, off the block and out. Why not? Instant offense there from your senior.
Charlie Wade has gone on record as saying this guy is the best out-of-system hitter in the gym every day. Who does that? 3 blockers up. He finds a way to find one hand. It's just not pointing in the right direction.
And an ace to follow that up by Spiros Hakas.
Spiros has been kind of overdue, in my opinion. He hasn't had his serve really working until then.
Yeah, was second on the team in aces last year with 48. Here it comes again into the net. Hakas not having his standard night, and it's a very high standard that he's set for himself. He's got 3 kills but 3 errors, so he's flatlining it right now. But he always finds ways to contribute in other statistical categories. He's got 2 blocks, a service ace, a dig, and an assist. Tella to Hakas off the block. On one knee, the save by David. Here's McHenry. Just gets so high above the tape. It's almost as if he can make decisions mid-air, and that time he decided to go with a little more pepper. In his 4th year with the program.
There's so many players out of Texas. They don't have boys volleyball in high school.
Overpass, here's McHenry. And he gets it down for another UCLA point. They get to 15 first in the 2nd. Merrick McHenry striking on back-to-back swings.
We feel as an association that this area can also produce a lot of produce to feed our community in the future. I have learned over the last few years that this is a strong area that is waiting to give. She's waiting to give back to our community.
Let's eat, y'all. Let's eat, y'all. Let's see if you can keep up with the beat, y'all. Take a seat, y'all. Time to feast, y'all. Then let's see what you can really do for me, y'all. Crab legs, dog eggs, bon appetit, y'all. And another round of drinks, can't even speak, though. Can't keep my eyes off this precious cheese, though. And I thought I saw work, was that for me, y'all. RSVP, are you gonna be there with me? RSVP, yeah.
Starting the new year off on the right foot isn't always easy. Luckily, My Longs has everything I need.
Make longs a part of your day.
Welcome back. So a couple of strikes by Merrick McHenry. He has 5 kills, no errors on 8 swings, hitting .625, and also 3 blocks here in this match.
He's got a local connection. You know, his high school club coach was a guy named John Corbelli, who played actually some volleyball for me, but he was a club coach, I think, in Austin, Texas. Played for a great club.
Good dig there by Knight on the nucleus swing. And then Champlin pumps it long, wanted the touch, doesn't get it.
Finish that thought. Glenn Litsky runs that club in Austin, Texas. You know about that.
Oh, yeah.
In the .1 tournament.
So here is Voss now to serve. Hawaii trying to fight its way back in set 2. And there is a block to help out. And guess who? Philip Umler, number 16 on number 16 crime, gets the point for Hawaii.
Oh, man. What a block. Watch Umler press over and down, just flying through the air.
12 serving 15. Middle set, McHenry popped up, diving style by Hawkes. Look at that, chase down by Tella. And we play on. Big advantage here for the Bruins. Outside, Champlin off the block. Voss pumps it up into the air. Tella, Umler from off the net, gets it down.
There he goes again, Philip Umler. A broken play, great dig by Spinos. Tella to keep the ball alive, and here's Umler just finding a way to get the ball in the back row. How does he do it? He's uncanny.
He needs to be on the Worsley Brothers podcast because this guy is so good out of system.
Yeah, he really is.
Little free plug there for the boys. Oh, that back row set was devastating. Just clobbered by Alex Knight.
It's so difficult to block because Hawaii's blockers are really worried about the attacker, Merrick Henry. They got to honor him and respect him. As soon as they go up on him, though, here comes Knight out of the back row, right on top of Merrick Henry. McHenry.
And McHenry with an ace. That was filthy. Sort of had a tail on it towards that deep near corner. And Merrick McHenry leaving his fingerprints all over this match so far. Literally and figuratively. (17 serving 13), and that one goes into the net. Well, this is a UCLA team that had a bit of the flu bug that went through the roster last week. Ron Sproul feeling like they've kind of got past that and felt like they were coming into this tournament at full blast. D set, David. Oh, Umler got a touch on it, but Neuster couldn't play it off the net. And it was David who gets the kill. David had to traverse quite a ways from behind the line to get there.
Yeah, that wasn't a perfect set for him.
Rowan with the serve. Look at that pass by Shuey. Had to lay it all on the line. Now Umler blocked in roof. They were waiting for him that time. 6 hands across for UCLA. And there was not a crack to be seen.
Yeah, that was a really good block. UCLA doubling up on Hawaii in blocks right now. Nowhere to go for Umler that time. Even the magician that Umler is when he attacks the ball and off broken plays. That one was not to be. Too many Bruins.
So 19 serving 14. They've built the lead back up to 5, and then Rowan goes long. 13th service error for UCLA. Keep an eye on that number. Hawaii with 9 on its side. And now Umler here for Hawaii coming. As we were talking about the service error numbers, Hawaii gets into double digits in that regard.
Galloway went out with no kills, 1 error and 6 tries, so he was not hitting for a good percentage. I'm sure that's why Charlie Wade made the substitution.
Tella got to go high ball here. It's Hawkes, 3 blockers against him. He plays off of his own ricochet, and then Tella comes flying in. Everything was in disarray on the UCLA UCLA side of the net, and Jakob saw it and took advantage.
You know, I think when Charlie Wade first saw Jakob Tella, he was recruiting him. He was an outside hitter, not a setter. But Jakob's become quite the setter in the meantime.
6'6" lefty, can hit with some pop. He could be an opposite somewhere. Instead, he's an All-American setter. This guy is a pure opposite through and through.
A couple of years in the Israeli military. Toughened him up a little bit, I'm sure.
Yeah, Guy Guinness, fellow Israeli, served in the Israeli Defense Forces for almost 3 full years. So yeah, this volleyball stuff, it's child's play compared to what individuals in that part of the world, in the military branches, what they experience, as Voss sends it wide, and UCLA now up a half dozen. 22-16 here in the second. What have you seen here? Why have the Bruins been able to build this advantage to this point in the second?
I think the biggest reason the Bruins have got an advantage now is Hawaii's hitting 0-0-0 in this set. 5 kills, 5 errors. And I think the Bruin block has been pretty intimidating. Hawaii's passing better than they did last night, but for some reason, they're not hitting quite as well because the Bruin block is really special.
Well, let's send it over to Ryan Kalei-Suji. He's with somebody very special. What's up, Ryan?
Hey, thanks, Kuno. Well, we're here in the stands with the 2010 National Player of the Year, 2-time Olympian. Oh, yeah, his dad coach here, too, Kavika Shoji. Kavika, a rare perspective for you. You played, of course, internationally a lot. Just your general thoughts about the level of volleyball we're seeing here tonight.
It's incredible level. Chicken skin when I got in. I mean, it's just a special atmosphere, one that really is well known around the world, and I love coming back to watch a game at.
You know, one of the things that you also bring is you've actually played under Coach John Spurall. Talk to us about the type of coach he is and what he's probably telling his team right now.
Just a real cerebral coach. He likes to be really aggressive. As you can see, they like to be aggressive from the serving line. They're playing with a lot of tempo and speed overhead to the opposite. It's really hard to stop right now. Just a lot of shared history with them over the last 10 years.
And quickly, who do you, for Hawaii, what player is impressing you the most?
Gosh, I'm really impressed with our team. Like I said, really high level. Jakob Tella is an awesome setter. Being an ex-setter, I really love watching him, but they got really good balance.
Kavika, thanks.
Thanks, man.
Back over to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Ryan. That's a good get.
Nice interview, Jack. Nice job, Ryan.
A guy that can talk about a slew of different storylines here attached to this match. Hawaii down big, but Voss makes it a little smaller.
We should add that Kavika had another ex-coach in the crowd last night from Penn State, remember? Miao Koval.
That's right,
His dad was in the house.
Played for Koval's dad, professional head coach in Poland. Kavika played for that team, which was actually Koval's hometown.
Right.
The hometown team for 2 years. And there's Jakob. It must be Kavika Shoji's juju. He talks about Jakob Tella, and he comes through moments later with the ace. And Hawaii trying to claw its way back in to this second frame.
Hawaii out of timeout. UCLA's got 1 more left. And here's this special serve that just, you never know where it's going to break. You know it's always going to go left to right, but you know how hard it's going to break left to right, or how quickly it's going to dive after it gets over the net. He's what, number 2 all time in the service aces for Hawaii?
He's getting there. You got 2 guys that are tied at the top, so he's moving up the list. But he's now got 110 career aces. That's his 17th on the season. The UH record is 121, so he is approaching, and it is most certainly within reach. You got Kostas Theoharides and Pedro Azenia, who are the co-holders of that record. So 22-18, UCLA up 4 here in the second, trying to even this matchup. And Ido David, we pumped him up in the pregame, one of the hardest hitters in college volleyball. He's got 9 kills to lead the Bruins, hitting .222, but every time he swings, you hear an echoing thud throughout the arena.
Yeah, the ball's set really fast to him on the outside, especially the back set over the center's head. It's going back really fast. Hard for the middle blockers to get out there and close the block and make it 4 hands across. David's usually seeing a split block because of that tempo.
Well, as you mentioned, no timeouts left for Hawaii here in set 2. You got 1 remaining in the pocket of UCLA head coach John Spraw. And Jakob Tella getting ready to serve. Pass there by Champlin's a good one. Middle set. McHenry tried to go with the dink again, but Hawaii was able to this time at least return it. And then a bad pass by David results in a Hawkes slam dunk, and Hawaii within 3.
A rare error from UCLA, a ball handling error there, especially David, an experienced player, overpasses it for an easy Hawkes put down.
3 straight points for Hawaii, trying to make this interesting in the second. Overpass, and Hawkes will play it. Tella with options, goes backside, Muklias dumps it down. Hawaii within 2, and this crowd is raging once more.
So John Spraw's gonna wait? No, he's gonna take a timeout right now.
4 straight rainbow points. Double-figure kills for Dimitrios Muklias. And we're still in set 2. He's got 10.
And no surprise that they're doing it on the back of Jakob Tella, their best server. He scores more points than anybody from behind the service line.
Well, Dimitrios Muklias is cooking with Kiabe so far this evening, C-Mac.
Yeah, he really is. Off to a great start. 10 kills, pours, only hitting, and he's hitting 333, but he's used to hitting 400. He's got 3 digs on a block, having a good all-around game. And he was the one, remember the first set, in case you just joined us, from 20 points on, he got every single kill for Hawaii, all 5 of them.
Yeah, Muklias helped really carry the load for Hawaii down the stretch of that opening set. They needed that. That was his first kill of this second set. He had 9 put downs in set 1. So choosing this sort of final leg around the turn here in the second frame to get involved once again offensively. But when this guy has it going, this Hawaii offense just looks different.
I think it's been tougher for Tella to get Muklias the ball. The passing hasn't been quite there. And I think also Tella's trying to get the middle more involved. Or can we go to Voss and Muster a little bit more?
Well, this crowd is definitely involved again.
Yeah.
Largest lead for UCLA in set 2 was 6. It is down to 2. And out of the timeout, Tella to serve. No timeouts left for either team here in the second. Pass there by Gooch. Right side, David. Too hot to handle for Brett Sheward. And a little reaction from Ido David after he pipes another one.
That's, he might get a warning on that at least. Surprised that Dixon Chun didn't warn him.
Now with the serve into the net. And so that will draw a few peeks through the twine back at Ido David from the Hawaii side. The game within the game.
Yeah.
And Spiros Hawkes will serve. 21 serving 23. Another race down the home stretch here in set 2. Great serve. What a pass by Gooch. Outside, it's Knight. He's blocked back, but he gets his own cover. Champlin highballs it to Knight. 3 blockers up, and he's able to evade 6 Hawaii hands for an impressive kill. And it's aloha ball for UCLA in the second.
That's a shot right out the Spiros Hawkes playbook. That's exactly what Spiros would do, don't you think? Same thing.
A thin slice of bread there for Alex Knight, and he will serve for set 2 to try to even this matchup. Tella, high ball, it's Umler, and he gets smothered. The Bruins block impenetrable on that swing by Philip Umler, and they take the second, 25-21. A sellout crowd here in Manoa. Get comfy, because we're in for a long one.
Intermission here in Manoa, number 1 Hawaii, number 2 UCLA. No surprise, tied at a set apiece. Scott, Nikki, Ryan, and the first thing I have to say is, how about this atmosphere? How about this crowd? This is fun.
Yeah, Reminds me of my senior night a couple years ago where everybody was booming, everybody was out here. During the first set, I think there was like 5 or 6 ties for the set point, and everybody was standing and sitting and standing and sitting, but they are energetic and it is loud.
Yeah, Hawaii definitely riding the crowd in that first set, able to squeeze out that first set victory. They ran into some problems in the second set, just with a few rotations. One of the things that Hawaii has got to do better at is side out and side out consistently, and because 1 or 2 points stuck in a rotation ultimately cost them that second set.
What do you guys think about the move, bringing in Philip Humler for Chaz Galloway?
I thought it was a good move. You know, Chaz was kind of struggling in the first couple of swings that he had during the match. He was struggling to get around the block and hitting through. So Philip did a really great job of doing what he does best, going off that block, and also proving that he can do other things as well, like his block, like his attacking and his blocking as well.
I don't think that's the last that we will see of Chaz Galloway. I think that it would be, you know, this Chaz does so many great things for this team. So we could see him come back in, especially if Hawaii continues to struggle in serve receive. That has become one of Chaz's greatest talents and attributes to this team, is his ability to keep Hawaii in system. He had some fantastic passes in that first set, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see him back in this next set, but we'll see what Charlie decides.
What about adjustments? We talked about that before the match. Hawaii would have to make some adjustments from last night. What have you seen differently from UH tonight?
I think we just look a little bit more steady. We look a little bit more even-keeled. The guys don't look so much like they're trying to fight for points like you had said yesterday, Ryan. They look like they're the ones that are aggressive in scoring the points. So I think that they're going to need to carry that out throughout the match going forward tonight.
Yeah, I just think there's a different level of confidence that they also have. Jakob seems to be much better in system and in flow. And I think it shows the grit, right? Hawaii was down in that first set. They were able to rally back and use the crowd to ride that momentum. This third set is going to be critical, I think, for the momentum of this match.
Well, there's no question the place to be on Oahu tonight is right here in Manoa, Hawaii. UCLA tied at a set apiece. So we'll take a break, come back and have more from the corner.
Welcome back. Here are the Pizza Hut match statistics. What do you think of what we're seeing numerically speaking, C-Mac?
I think the two that are highlighted are the most significant. UCLA hitting 286 to Hawaii's 183. Both teams used to hitting around 380, by the way. A lot of defense going on, and blocks 9-4. That's significant. UCLA's been much better at the net at blocking Hawaii's attackers. The other significant stat that's not there is that, you know, Hawaii hit .080 in the second set, 8 kills, 6 errors. Not good numbers, not good offense for Hawaii in the second set.
Well, we saw last night the way it played out in the 4-set loss to Penn State, a Hawaii team that struggled in serve receive, just seemed to be a beat or two out of rhythm. Have you seen the improvement here tonight, and what areas does Hawaii need to shore up here to try to get this victory with this match even at 1 apiece?
Absolutely, a definite improvement in every phase of the game, basically. That's why they were able to have a close second game and a very close first game and a win, 29-27. They certainly, I think, love playing in front of this crowd, and I think they've done a nice job of passing better. I think Jakob's setting has been better. All around, everything's been better. But you know what? The Bruins are really tough. They're serving tough. They got a block going, and you know, they're hitting for, you know, a much better percentage. 286 to Hawaii's 183. So I think Hawaii's got to, I think, in this particular set, they've got to have pretty precise passing, and they got to get their offense going and split that Bruin block up. Give their hitters a chance to score better.
Yeah, that Bruin block, part of the reason Hawaii hit .080 in set 2 compared to 345 for UCLA. Somewhat mind-blowing that it was as close as it was down the stretch, but UCLA got it done 25-21 after Hawaii needed 5 set points to take the first, 29-27. So here we go. We're even at 1 set apiece. Wouldn't you know it, the top 2 teams in the country, this long-time rivalry, UCLA and Hawaii, sellout crowd, final night of the Outrigger. I mean, what more can you ask for?
Now it's the best 2 out of 3. Hawaii with almost an all-foreign lineup right now. Humler's still back in, and Shui's the only continent player.
David with the serve and Shui with the overpass. UCLA will play it in transition. Here's David from the back row. Was slowed down by the net, so Stewart able to conjure up the save. Hawkes gets blocked back. Shuey the cover. Look at Teller just running all over the court. And then Muklias trying to find that far sideline, missed wide. That is just his 5th hitting error on 19 swings. He's still hitting .263 with the 10 kills, but a point for UCLA.
You get 9 of them in that first set. He was
right.
on fire. Major cool-off in set number 2.
David. Oh, that one had much more pop behind it, and it's an ace. 3rd ace of the match for UCLA. And that hot sauce from Ido David, a little too spicy for the Rainbow Warriors on that occasion.
He really hits a heavy ball. He and Champlin, the two of them, just bring major, major heat.
Tello will be able to retrieve this one. And it's Muklias going over the block. Nice dig by Champlin in the back row. Knight gets blocked back. UCLA still with it. Knight a second time, popped up by Muklias. So Umler, back bump set to Hawkes, and he's just going to two-hand it over. Big advantage for the Bruins. And they go back row! But the block was up. G. Voss in the middle of things.
Well, that time, Hawaii expected the Bic, so they did not commit on the quick hitter. They waited for him and got him. First time tonight.
Ethan Champlin with his 3rd hitting error. Good serve by Jakob. David! Stop block! Voss saying, jumping up next to Hawkes.
That's set low and fast to the outside. Voss is hustles to get out there and close that block, catching most of it.
He was 2nd in the nations in block per set last year. And Guilherme Voss starting to climb once again in the numbers. Outside it goes to Knight, and there he is again. A nothing but a G-thing. G. Voss up next to Demetrius Muklias.
Guilherme working so hard in the middle, hustling to get to the outside. Muklias right there, setting the block perfectly and celebrating.
And Hawaii up 3-2. This is Hawaii's first lead since set 1. Back row Champlin, and he's blocked. And Hawaii fierce at the net once again. Guilherme Voss not letting anything pass. And now a substitution for the Bruins as Zach Rama, 6'8" freshman from Phoenix, Arizona, a true frosh, comes into the match, replacing Alex Knight. What a serve. What a pass by Gooch outside. Rama the tip shot, sniffed out by Tella. Bump set Shuey. Muklias times it, goes off the block and down. And Hawaii off and running. They've scored 5 in a row. And UCLA signals for a timeout. Rainbow Warriors clicking with G. Voss stuffing at the net. Well, Guilherme Voss with 5 blocks and has absolutely changed the complexion of this very early stage of set 3. Getting his hands all over some of those UCLA swings. Hawaii with 3 blocks in this 3rd set, and they yucked up Tella out of the timeout with his 2nd ace of the night. And Hawaii has scored 6 straight points here in the 3rd.
I rarely see that in 2 high-level teams that are so close in quality. You rarely see a 6-point run. This is unusual.
Here it comes again from Jakob. Pass by Champlin. They go right side. David dug up by Shuey. Voss just bumps it straight up in the air. Hawkes is blocked. The cover by G. Now Muklias, 3 blockers waiting. He just 2-hands it over to the open spot. Diving save by David. Here's Rama blocked. He gets his own cover. Back row. The set was off the mark. Champlin hits it wide. Hawaii scores its 7th straight point.
This is like a bizarro world again. Like last night's match against Penn State when Penn State gave Hawaii 20 errors in the first set. Hawaii scoring 7 in a row? Who does that?
Well, that has happened when it has happened in the recent history of Hawaii volleyball. Oftentimes it's when this guy is behind the service line.
I would say 100% of the time.
7 serving 2. Trying to keep the pressure on. Good pass there by Rama. Middle set. McHenry dug up, but out it goes off the platform of Jakob Tella. And Merrick McHenry ends the run, and this crowd showing its appreciation for Hawaii's 7 straight points.
We give credit to Rama for a great pass. He's the one who made that play.
And here he is now on the serve. Tella, middle, Voss. Got blocked back. Tella goes against the grain. Hawkes down the line. Thought he got the touch, no touch. Missed it wide, and it's a point for UCLA. Yeah, Zach Rama getting the call here out of Sandra Day O'Connor High School. And as we take a look, was there a touch? Hard to tell there from that angle. Served by Rama. It's a good one. Forces the overpass. Bruins with the edge. Middle. It's McHenry. Pounds it down. And UCLA has scored 3 straight. A couple of good serves there from Rama, who, by the way, in the pregame warm-ups, took an Ito David hit. He was going up for a block. Took an Ito David hit off of his forehead. It looked like he had to shake it off a little bit. Hit him in the nose. Had some redness. But he's back, and now he's contributing here in this match. That one knuckled over on the second touch by Rowan. Tella, backside. Here's Hawkes. Solo block against him, and he wins the battle.
Hawkes goes up. It's a little bit behind him. That's why he's falling backwards, has to dive to get out of it. But great effort. He only had 1 blocker up. He managed a field goal at thru. And slow down the Bruin rally.
Is there such a thing as a fadeaway kill? Because that was it right there. 8 serving 5. This match tied at 1 set apiece. And it's an ace. Oh, Hawaii firing some darts from the service line.
Hawkes with ace number 2 on the night.
So he's got 2 aces. Jakob Tella has 2 aces in this match. It's 9 serving 5. That time Gooch made sure he got the first contact. Champlin got blocked back. It goes over the net. Umler is blocked. Good save there by Hawkes. Tella backside. Muklius goes off the block and off Dimi's dome and back over. Now Champlin dug up along the back line by Hawkes. Hawaii on the attack. Here's Dimi. What a diving effort by Rama, but Hawaii gets the point.
Oh my goodness gracious. How about Dimi covering himself? He is squinting. Dimi's still squinting after covering his own attack with his face.
Look at this. Dimi goes off block.
He just gets
off dome.
Straight down. He gets blocked. Normally that would be a point in most cases, but tonight, no. These are 2 unbelievable teams doing unbelievable things.
Overpass, Voss!
And a rare error from Troy Gooch.
Time out of UCLA. They are roaring here in Manoa.
I'll say Gooch has passed so perfectly all night long.
The blocking for Hawaii is what changed the vibe here in this match. After dropping set 2, Guilherme Voss has had his fingerprints all over the volleyball here in the 3rd.
Right now with 7.5 blocks for the Bruins, 9.5. Bruins were doubling up on Hawaii prior to that. Voss leading the way. He seems to be in on pretty much every block. So far, he's been in on 5.
second team ABCA All-American a year ago, first team All Big West. Played for the Brazilian national team from 2016 to 2019, has some significant international experience, and is just the epitome of efficiency for this Hawaii squad. And if he's not doing it offensively, you can see how he can absolutely change a match at the defensive side. Let's send it over to Ryan.
Hey, thanks, Kono. Here on the UCLA sideline, a lot of attention being paid, of course, to the passing. They really are feeling the service pressure from Hawaii. They said this is what we know Hawaii can do. This is what they do well when they're in the zone. One of the things that UCLA continues to do is they go in a 4-man passing formation. They're moving between a 4 and 3 man, depending on who's from behind the service line, hoping to limit the seams that Hawaii is hitting. Back over to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Ryan.
So let's see how many they got passing now. Looks like they've got 3 passing right now. Gooch in the middle of it. He's got the toughest job. He's got to cover the most area by far.
You saw at bottom of your screen, next week coming into town, it's Long Beach State. Out of the timeout, McHenry just getting higher than anybody else on the floor.
Perfect pass by Gooch to make that play happen. And Andrew Rowan putting up a good set. Nice and high for McHenry. You set it up there high, and he'll make you look good.
McHenry is fun to watch. And here he is from the service line. Teller gonna go high and away to Umler. Off the fingertips. Good cover there by Rama. Here's David. Oh, the block was fooled. And David basically going into hitting lines on that one.
And Umler was in there helping out with the middle. He got fooled. He couldn't get to the outside fast enough. An open net for David is like, ooh, it's history. It's over, baby.
Meanwhile, Hawaii has had a 7-0 run in this set and a 4-0 run. Diving effort by Shui, and the back row set goes to Hakas. And Spiros Hakas is locking in right now.
Showing about as much emotion as we've seen him have all year. Look at that. Look at him. He wants to win this game. Can you tell?
Yeah, that's some intensity there. From the 6'4" junior from Nea Smyrni, Greece. 12 serving 7. Outside Champlin, it was off the net, dug up by Umler. Advantage Hawaii. Here's Phillip. Oh! He tattoos that sweat.
The last 2 times he's hit the ball, he's been stuffed. That time it was not going to happen because he was going to go off the end blocker no matter what. Try to tool the hands.
"13 serving 7 in the third. Here's Champlin. Just got there before the Hawaii block could even form. Didn't bother with the full arm swing.
Yeah, no, just up the straight, the push dink they call it. Goes up and just pushes it straight down. He sees the opening. A little bit of a hole in the block there. Neuster a little bit late getting out there, but he still is running a pretty fast tempo offense.
Back row Hakas. And they're going to say that he stepped on the line. Back row attacker violation gives the point to UCLA. And so it's 9 serving 13 here in set 3.
I thought Teller was going to go to Neuster that time. Get him back involved in the game.
Rowan. Oh, the pass by Hakas. Backside, Muklius off the block and out. Dimi's got 13 kills.
Picking up right where he left off in set number 1, where he got 9 kills.
So 14 serving 9. Can Hawaii keep the pressure on from the service line? They can. Champlin sends it long. Was there a touch? No touch. Point Hawaii, and they get to 15 first in the third. The Rainbow Warriors up by a half dozen. Welcome back. Hawaii hitting 211 here in set 3 compared to negative 050 for UCLA, and Hawaii up a half dozen. Let's check out tonight's Hyundai head-to-head stat line. We're looking at the M1s. Merrick McHenry, 8 kills, 4 blocks for the Bruins. Guilherme Voss, 4 kills, 5 blocks. 3 of those coming here in the third.
And those two are putting on quite a show, aren't they, as middle blockers?
And out of the timeout, it's Dimitrios Mouklios. 15 serving 9. Good pass there by Rama. And he gets the set in the back row. Punched up by Newster. Great diving effort just to keep the play alive by Mouklios. And then it's Rama with a net violation against Hawaii. Didn't matter because Rama laid the smackdown on that swing.
Not a bad sub to come in at 6'8" and start bombing from the outside and hitting the Bic as well. Fab 50er, USA Youth National Team. Best attacker in the USA under 21 gold division in Cuba.
And a service ace to back that up by Ethan Champlin. And UCLA within 4. You saw J.R. Norris entering the match for UCLA. 6'5" redshirt junior from Lancaster, California. In his 6th year with the Bruins program.
Probably had a red shirt and a COVID, right?
Super senior.
Yeah.
Super duper senior.
Super duper senior.
And now Champlin to serve. Overpass. Rama. And another net violation goes against Hawaii. UCLA within 3. They have scored 3 straight, and now Charlie Wade is going to signal for a timeout. Hawaii seem to be firing on all cylinders, but the Bruins able to make a surge here, and Charlie Wade trying to see if he can stem the tide.
And they're doing it with their serving. You know, they're really serving effectively, putting a lot of pressure on Hawaii's passers, looking, I think, for the newbie on the court. Most of the time they've been looking for Humler, trying to pick on him a little bit. But it's really made Hawaii's ability to run an offense right now very minimal, let's call it. They're just trying to survive the barrage of difficult serves that the Bruins are serving up.
Well, big night here in Manoa, but got some action elsewhere in the University of Hawaii athletics program. How about the Rainbow Wahine basketball team going back-to-back, repeating as Big West Conference tournament champions, coming back from down 15 against UC Santa Barbara to win 61-59. Congrats to Laura Beeman and that fantastic program that she has put together.
What a job that staff and those players did this year. Well, didn't they lose 3 starters early on?
They did, and not that early on. Pretty deep into the season as the Rainbow Wahine softball team getting a win over Iowa State. And Hawaii would go on to then lose to Fordham, 8-0. And here's a baseball score, top 6th over at Les Murakami Stadium. Hawaii over UConn, 7-3. We will have the series finale for you here on Spectrum Sports, starting at 6 p.m. That's when the coverage will start. Hawaii and UConn. Again, that's on Monday. Out of the timeout, Champlin. Tella, high and away, and that one a little tight to the net, so Umler just tried to win a joust. Champlin to going right side. It's David, and oh, it was signaled out initially, and then in by the line judge. And it was confirmed by the top official, Dixon Chun. That's 4 straight points here for UCLA. And now we're going to have another sub as Chaz Galloway will come back in for Philip Umler.
Good overrule by Dixon Chung there. Galloway brought in for, I think, for passing reasons right now. Stabilize that passing pattern.
Service error gives it right back to Hawaii.
Hawaii was stuck on 15 for a long time. The Bruins gave them their 16th point.
Now Galloway, see him trying to loosen up a little bit. Was sitting on the side for a spell. 16 serving 13. Into the net it goes. What you're seeing from either side, these are two head coaches not afraid to turn to their benches.
Yeah.
John Sproul will play a ton of guys.
Yeah.
And the same will go with Charlie Wade if he deems it necessary.
They're both very blessed to have depth.
Norris on the serve. Good pass that time by Shuey. High and away. It's Hawkes. Roll shot off the block. What a save for a moment by Champlin. But nobody could get the secondary touch. So roll shot works for Hawkes, his 7th kill. And Hawaii up 3.
Hawkins saw the block with roll form, so he took a little bit off there, just trying to keep it in play.
And now Kana'i Akana in and back to serve. Kana'i becoming a fan favorite himself. Not just the service efforts, but what they see from him defensively here recently.
But that works as well. A service ace for Kana'i Akana. Great effort by Merrick McHenry to no avail, but you gotta love
Outrigger Invitational final night. You got your middle blocker trying to chase this one down, but give the ace to Kana'i Akana. Look at this, right into your living room.
And the floor wiper got a little airtime.
Outside, Rama. Zach Rama, true frosh. Head coach John Sproul says he's a very physical player. Unique to try to stop because, as you can see on that approach, he gets way up there.
Yeah, he really does. Pretty good jumping ability. Kind of hangs up there, too. Remember, he's 6'8".
And he's a guy that Coach Sproul says he'll be a problem in a couple of years, if he's not already a problem now.
Yeah.
David. Tella. Muklius had to go off of 1 foot. Easy pickings on the save for David, but the pass was a little tight to the net, and then Rama missed the open floor. An unforced error, and Hawaii dodges a BB and gets the point.
Well, I got lucky there. Here's Rama, but open court just cuts too much down the line. He'll learn. He's a freshman. He won't be making that mistake his sophomore year.
19 serving 15. Pass by Gooch is on the money. Middle set McHenry, like clockwork. He's got 9 put downs.
Yet to make an error. Playing some perfect volleyball.
Coming into this match, hitting .484 on the year. Last year, he hit .523 for the season.
Hitting .643 tonight.
Oh, and Rama with the service error. So a couple of miscues for the true frosh. And Hawaii leads by 4. They get to the 20-point mark first here in the 3rd.
And these last 5 points, though, are the toughest ones to get, Kanoa.
It's like the final yard on a football field before the goal line. Pass by Rama. Oh, against the grain. Wide open net for Ito David, and he obliterates it.
Didn't I tell you if you leave Ito alone, it could be dangerous?
How about that set by the freshman Andrew Rowan?
Yeah, that was a thing of beauty. Thing of beauty. Galloway couldn't get there in time, and Shuey's life was in danger.
Yeah, maybe saw it flash in front of him. McHenry. Oh boy, this is trouble. Galloway able to get there on the second touch. Free chance here for the Bruins. Outside, Champlin pumps it down. And UCLA within 2. What'd you say about the last 5 points, C-Mac?
I assume they're tough to get. Hawaii's got 1 timeout left. If UCLA gets to 19, I bet Charlie Wade calls a timeout, try to slow them down.
Champlin into double-figure kills. Shuey sends that one over the net. What an effort by Hawaii as they pinball it around. Hawkes slipped, but he was still able to get it over. Outside, Champlin. Saved by Tella over the net. Bruins on the attack once more. David! And UCLA within 1, despite the scrambling effort of Hawaii, but some concern because Spiros Hawkes went down awkwardly. He appeared to either stumble or slip on the Terraflex while making the effort to free pass it over the net. And now the Hawaii players trying to make sure that one of their star hitters is all good.
Yeah, he seems all right. He's not limping at all, not grabbing at it. He just wants to make sure the floor is dry.
3 straight points for the Bruins. And here it was. You saw that little stumble or slip. And still grimacing in some discomfort is Spiros Hakas. Charlie Way going to signal for a timeout. They get to 20. It was 2016. Just like that. The Bruins right there in the rearview mirror.
Take a look at Spiros as he goes down here. Number 23 right there. You see him slip right there. Yeah, the floor was wet right there. It somehow wasn't wiped up from before, because that was definitely a wet spot that he skidded on.
Hawaii hitting 217 here in the third. UCLA hitting 188. And it is once again looking like we may be in for a photo finish here in set 3. Let's send it over to Ryan. What's up?
Thanks, Kanoa. Well, on the Hawaii sideline, of course, Charlie Way talking to his passers, primarily trying to get out of this rotation with this tough serve, this hybrid serve by McHenry, saying that they've got to be aggressive on the seams and get their platform out early. On the UCLA sideline, they're trying to predict what Hawaii's going to do coming out of this. All odds on the UCLA sideline think it's going to go to Demetrius Muklia, so they're setting up a blocking scheme, trying to channel everything down the line to their line digger, hoping to stop Demi on the cross court. We'll see how that's executed coming out of this timeout. Back over to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Ryan. Yeah, Merrick McHenry causing some problems at the service line in addition to all of the other areas that we've already pointed out. But we mentioned this guy out of Bedford, Texas, L.D. Bell High School. He was a top 5 recruit by Volleyball magazine. But we mentioned his athleticism. He also won a state title in the 110-meter hurdles, the long jump, and the high jump.
That's athletic, to say the least.
It's 6-7. Looking to tie this third set up. Hawaii led by as many as 6. Tella has to go chasing that one down. Oh, the bump was off the mark. Free chance for the Bruins. Big advantage here. They go middle. It's Norris. Finishes the deal, and the comeback is complete. 4 straight points for UCLA, and we effectively start over at 2020.
Give that point to Merrick McHenry. His serve dictated that whole rally. Hawaii was in trouble the entire time. They couldn't pass his serve.
That one goes long.
Oh, and they breathed this huge sigh of relief. I can hear it over here. Could you?
Yeah, the draft on the back of our necks. Great run by Merrick McHenry. And he gets it from his teammates. But it's Hawaii up 1, and it is Guilherme Voss behind the line to serve. Looking to execute that jump float. Pass by Rama. Pulls Rowan off. They go right side. David, it hit the pin. And out ball, and it's a Hawaii point. They're up 2. No timeouts left for either side here.
You just got to play it out. Watch for floor wipes playing a role here, or challenges playing a role to slow the game down of the opponent.
Good point. 22 serving 20. High ball outside Champlin. It was a joust above the tape, and it's a net violation against UCLA. Point Hawaii, they're up 3.
No way to slow things down now. And Hawaii scoring their points off a jump floater. Go figure.
So Hawaii got to 20. UCLA scored 4 straight points. UCLA got to 20. Hawaii scored 3 straight points. And Voss serves it long.
Guilherme had a nice run, though. You don't always expect that your middle blocker is going to score a lot of points for you behind the service line, but Guilherme's played, not only kept his serve in all night, but he's, except for that last one, but he's played some great defense as well.
Here's Rowan, team leader in aces. Pass by Hakas is a good one. Tella backside. Demi through the block. Right there is Gooch.
Bruins on the attack. David blocked back. Gooch with the cover. Middle set. Norris blocked. Gooch again keeps it alive. Champlin through the Hawaii block, and now they have the edge. Backside. Muklius gets it down.
Now it looks like there is going to be a challenge by John Spraw. I'm not sure what it's going to be, though.
Yeah, he saw something.
It was Andrew Rowan that told Coach Spraw to challenge something, not sure what.
So they're going to look at what John Spraw believes to have been a net violation against Hawaii over the course of that sequence.
And by the way, half the fans are standing right now because they are assuming it's going to be set point.
Let's see if we can see anything here. So this is the tail end of that play, and there doesn't look to see anything, at least from the span of time that we ran through, anything even really close, unless there was something earlier in the sequence. But Wayne Lee already off with the headset, and it's going to stand.
So exactly what you were talking about, C-Mac. I think John Spraw just saying, all right, let me challenge and utilize this as a veritable timeout.
Exactly. So they've got something set up here, some sort of offensive attack planned there during that little mini timeout.
And so now the other half of the crowd that hadn't been standing realizing, oh, it is aloha ball, and they're up again. Hawaii looking to take an advantage here in the match. Serving for set 3.
Outside, it's David through the block and down.
Ito David strikes again. He has 15 kills to lead everybody.
He's some kind of force at the net. And when he's in the back row, he's a force there too.
Just a sophomore, mind you.
But I think probably an old sophomore.
Well, we will definitely also say that.
Still aloha ball.
Champlin, passed by Galloway is a beauty. Tella over on 2.
And give the assist to Chaz Galloway for that perfect pass for Tella to put it down.
Chaz sat for a little bit here in this match, but he provided some nectar for Jakob Tella
and made the perfect call at the perfect time. Hawaii up 2-1 against UCLA. What do you think about this sequence here, C-Mac?
Oh, I love how Chaz Galloway just pulled his arms back just a little bit, soften up that pass to the net where Tella could go up and attack it. UCLA was not ready for that. I think they were ready for a lot of other attackers, but not Tella.
So Hawaii able to build a substantial lead in that third set, only to see UCLA down 16 serving 20, tie it up at 20 apiece, and Hawaii would win the race to 25. They take it 25-22. They're up 2-1 here in the match. Rainbow Warriors hit 269 in the third compared to 154 for the Bruins.
And, you know, the other thing is the side-out percentage for each team. The Bruins only siding out at 41% that set. Hawaii siding out at 47%. Normally, teams like this side out at around 70%. That says there's errors being made, and there's some pretty good defense going on. And some great serving as well.
You saw that stat line for Jakob Tella. The 25 assists, 4 digs, 2 aces, in on a block, and 3 kills. I mean, this team goes as far as Jakob Tella takes them. That has been proven here over the last couple of seasons. He has had to deal with some knee issues.
Yep.
Charlie Wade applying the load management method to Jakob Tella here this season. He sat out 7 matches, didn't even accompany the team on one of their road trips. But here he is with his team up 2-1 against UCLA on the final night of the Outrigger.
And how about his counterpart, Andrew Rowan, with 36 assists so far. That's 12%. That would lead the nation right now if you assisted 12 times per set. So he's having a good night.
UCLA coming off of a 22-win season a year ago. Lost to Stanford in the MPSF tournament semis, but made it to the NCAA tournament, then lost to Long Beach State in the semifinals there. Of course, Hawaii defeating Long Beach State in the championship game as Ido David with some high cheddar. Look out if you're Brett Sheward.
I told you, Shuey's got to get the helmet on whenever David is in the front row like that. Because Hawaii's just not getting a solid block up on David.
Yeah, Brett Sheward.
And he loves to go line.
Brett Sheward thinking, like, can we get a blocker up there? Good pass that time by Shuey. Tella high and away. Oh, the stutter step approach by Muklius. Didn't get a full bore swing on it. So now Rama straight down to the floor.
Now Tella just misset that one. Didn't come out the way he wanted to. Very awkward approach for Muklius, because he expected an entirely different tempo.
Remember, it was 2-0 UCLA to start the third, and then Hawaii went on a 7-point run. Tella goes right side. Hakas right down Kalakaua Avenue.
Hakas struggling a bit offensively tonight. 7 kills, 5 errors, unusual for him. Hitting about 100. He's used to hitting 400.
One serving 2. Outside Rama, got blocked back, but it finds its way out of bounds. So a kill there for Rama. He now has 5 kills since being inserted into the match. And he'll retreat back to serve. 3 serving 1 here in set number 4. Tella
Behind the headset to Boss, who unleashes.
That is a thing of beauty. But Brandon Taliaferro up off the bench. He's UCLA's assistant coach who specializes in setting. Brandon, a former elite setter at UCLA from 97 to 2001. Questioning Dixon Chun's call there. He thought that Tella might have handled it twice.
David on the D set. Destroys it. That's now 17 kills for Ido David, hitting 323.
Did he lose a tooth there? Oh, gum. He had gum, I think.
31 attempts for David. McHenry forces the overpass. And then the swing by Rowan, but he misses wide. Tried to turn on it. Had some open floor space, but he missed the court, and Hawaii gets gifted one.
Yeah, he did have an open shot there. No blockers up.
Three serving 4 in the 4th. There was some high velo there from Muklius. Off the block, Muklius chases it down. Galloway has to quickly reset, and he sends a free ball over the net. Rowan, back row, Rama! That was violent, and UCLA up 2.
Look, Rama, it's so good. 6'8", he's agile, he passes well. Looking to come flying out of the back row, hitting the back row quick.
My goodness. And an ace from the service line for Andrew Rowan, the team leader in that department. And he gets his first of the match. 6 serving 3. The Bruins looking to force a 5th. And another ace.
He goes back to back. 3 straight points for UCLA.
Nice range by Rowan. He can move it down the line. He can go down the middle. Now when he pull hooked it on the left. Great ace.
Good pass that time by Hawkes. Tella middle. Neusterer deposits it. And he's trying to pump up his teammates.
Yeah, the middles have only been set a total of 10 times. Make that 11 times out of a total of, 87 sets.
Rowan surveyed the floor through the net. Rowan punched over, though, on the back set to Champlin. Here's Neusterer again. Found the sweet spot. And look at Kurt go.
I think the strategy between sets might have been, let's work the middle more. We haven't been there in a while. Let's go back there. Tella showing some confidence in the young freshman.
And Kurt Neusterer showing some fire. Outside, David off the block, but with so much thrust that it goes off the hands and out beyond the end line. 18 kills for Ido David. Oh boy, Hawaii way out of system here. Back bump set, it's Muklias, and they make it work anyway. What a bump set by Galloway.
You can only do that so many times off a bad pass, but Hawaii, Muklias has done this so many times, gotten Hawaii out of trouble, but Hawaii's definitely got to pass better. Bruins putting a lot of pressure on the serve.
How about the offenses here? Hawaii hitting .833 in set 4. UCLA hitting .556. Just one error between both teams. And Rama strikes again. He's got 7 kills. And these swingers in this 4th set, they ain't messing around. They're bringing heat each and every time.
You know, the offenses seem to be getting a little more smooth on both sides of the net. Passing's a little better.
How much does fatigue potentially start to become a factor here? 3 straight nights of volleyball, some big-time battles between these top 3 teams in the country.
I would say the answer is yes, especially goes to the 5th. And into the 4th, it's going to be challenging for the guys who've taken the most swings, for sure.
Norris sends it long.
Neither team has had a 3-night stretch where they've had to do this back to back to back.
Tella behind the line, 7 serving 9. Pass by Champlin. Outside, Rama off the block and out. Zach Rama is in some kind of zone at the moment. Everything he's touching is benefiting the Bruins. He's got 8 kills, hitting .583.
And he's passing pretty well as well.
Serving 7 from David. High ball set, Muklias over the block. Guarding that back line was Champlin and hit the scoreboard. Good reaction there by Gooch. And a free chance here for Hawaii. Tella outside, Muklias! Detonates.
How about the set by Jakob Tella? Spiros Hawkes gave him a too tight to the net set pass. And Tella goes up and adjusts in the air and gives Muklias a perfect set right in his wheelhouse.
That's 16 kills now for Demi. Matches his output in the 4-set loss to Penn State last night. Good reaction there by Galloway. Back bump set Voss. And it's going to be a Hawaii point. They're going to say that Rama interfered, went over the net.
He's got a little Outrigger. Ball looks like it's completely on Hawaii's side of the net.
So 9 serving 10. Hawaii can tie it. Good pass by Rama. Gets the set on the outside and then touches it down. Immediately atoning for that error and giving UCLA that 2-point advantage.
That was a great pass. I like that pass better, even better than the push dink kill that he got. Great pass.
And then he delivers a pretty nifty jump serve. Galloway rising high. Tried to go line. Did he get a touch? No touch. Point Bruins, and Hawaii down 3 here in the 4th.
Not a bad idea to try to chip it off the outside blocker's hand. I think he had 3 blockers up on him that time.
Galloway, no kills on 7 swings here this evening. Tella has to chase that one down out of the signage, and then Muklius, what a dig by David. How did he do that? Champlin, high ball set. Rama will get a swing. He's blocked, pinballed around, and a free ball coming over the net. Tella with options, goes to Voss, blocked and rolled. Merrick McHenry, all by his lonesome, turning it back.
And Eric McHenry did the same thing the other night against Penn State in set number 5. Came up with 2 crucial blocks to give the Bruins some space and win that 5th set against Penn State.
Service error gives Hawaii a much-needed point. They get out of that sticky rotation. This has been fun.
It really has been. What a night.
We're not even close to being POW either.
And these fans are getting their money's worth.
I think you pointed it out. They got their money's worth in set 1. David trying to better that ball, dug up by Tella. That bump set drifting and running out of room was Muklius.
Not like Spiros to put up a bad set like that. He's usually pretty sure with his bump sets. And here comes trouble for Hawaii. This guy just got a nasty hybrid serve.
Shuey's going to take on the setting responsibilities. Goes cross court to Galloway. He goes off the block and out. And Hawaii gets the point. Oh, the Hawaii players were just watching. There was nobody in the area. They were just hoping it was going to end up out of bounds, and it did. That's the first kill for Chaz Galloway. 11 serving 14. Service error. Maybe some of that aforementioned fatigue starting to show itself. UCLA gets the 15 first in set 4. Welcome back. UCLA hitting .438 here in set 4. Hawaii hitting .417. 2 hitting errors on either side as the offenses have started to really look crisp here in this 4th frame.
UCLA out blocking Hawaii 10-7, but Hawaii out digging UCLA 31-25, led by Seward's 10. Count them, 10 digs.
And an out serve out of the timeout by Rowan. So does Hawaii have a run in the tank here in this 4th set? Chaz Galloway, who got his first kill moments ago, now to serve. Rowan going outside to David, blocked back, one-hand save. Rowan to the net. We got a joust up there, played by Nooster off the ricochet, and then Muklius, and that's going to be a kill. Hit the scoreboard overhead and went over the net. That's out of play, and Hawaii within 2.
Pretty good dig by Troy Gooch and a pretty alert step close hit by Muklius. Hawaii's, just scrambling to try to stay in this.
13 serving 15. Gooch putting that pass on the money. Back row set, and it is Rama.
Usually your back row quick hitter is a guy that's like 6'4", 6'5", really quick to the ball, quick arm swing, good jumping ability. This guy's 6'8", hits the bick as well as anybody.
He didn't start this match. He has 10 kills, C-Mac.
Yeah.
Here's Muklius.
He's got 18 kills on 36 swings.
On a night where the other half of the Greek connection is hitting 111. Spiros Hakas with 8 kills. His buddy Dimi once again carrying the load.
Yeah. Hitting 361.
Kanat Yakana to serve. And it hits the pin.
He was trying to go down the line and test the serving ability, the passing ability of Zach Rama, the freshman.
Substitution. So now a substitution here for the Bruins. Cole McDonough, true freshman, coming in to serve. Hasn't played a ton this season, but in the big spot here. Two-hand pass, Shui, Tella, D-set, Muklius.
Demolishes it. Just keep feeding the bear.
And how did he get past the 6'8" Rama and the 6'7" McHenry? My goodness. Down the line, they gave him too much line. They're really taking his cross-court angle.
So here's Jakob. Pass tight to the net, one hand set, it's Rama, he's blocked. Cover by Gooch, right side, David, he's blocked alone! Spiros Hakas, flexing for the fans!
There's a little bit of everything tonight, including Hakas, block solo there, and the flex.
Romano Roofing Company bringing the hard hats to the arena tonight. 5 blocks for Spiros Hakas, 6 blocks for G. Voss, 8.5 total team blocks, and a timeout taken by the Bruins. We have seen that pendulum of momentum swinging frantically back and forth throughout this match.
Especially, you know, one of the things we're seeing a lot of is better blocking by both teams at the net, making it really difficult for the attackers. And they just got to, all the attackers have just got to hope and pray that they get a good pass and a split block somehow, that their setters give them a split block. I look to see more sets in the middle on good passes or big sets for both teams to try to keep the middle blockers on each side honest.
Hawaii within 1. Let's check in with Ryan. What's up?
Hey, thanks, Kono. Well, the UCLA sideline, the coaching staff trying to figure out a way to slow down Demetrius Muklius. They're talking to their team about his hitting tendency, saying that this is the crunch time, track number 11, track Demetrius wherever he is moving along the court, because he is providing that offensive lift and really making UCLA pay in some of those blocking as we look at some of his highlights. On the Hawaii sideline, head coach Charlie Waite talking to Demetrius Muklius about some of his options, about hitting more cross-court and mixing up his shots. Back over to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Ryan. Yeah, when Dimi is grooving like this, it's hard to stop him.
Yeah, he's got all the shots. He got the down-the-line shot, even the push dink down the line. He's got the deep corner. He's even got the little slicer inside the 3-meter line if he has an open court across his body.
Tella to serve out of the timeout. How about the pass there by Champlin? Backside, David through the Hawaii block and down. Kill number 19 for Ido David. And he will retreat back behind the line to serve. Hawaii led by, or UCLA, I should say, led by as many as 4 here in the 4th. Here's David. Sends it out. It's a 1-point score once again.
4th service error by David. 20th service error, 21st service error by UCLA.
Gooch, perfect on the pass. Middle set, McHenry. Just elevating into the clouds.
McHenry looks so good on that, but you know what? without Gooch, McHenry doesn't get that set and he doesn't get that kill. Great pass by Troy Gooch.
4 Bruins hitters with double-figure kills. As Rama goes into the net. And one of those guys in double figures is Zach Rama. Came into the match in the 3rd set. He already has 10 kills, 7 of them coming in this 4th frame. Here's G. Voss to serve. Hawaii down 1. McHenry in the middle, goes off the block and down. He has been a riddle that Hawaii has not been able to solve. And he has impacted this match from all kinds of different angles.
Not only has he yet to make an error attacking, he's 11 out of 16, hitting .688, but he's even more devastating from behind the service line right here.
Good pass there by Shuey. Backside, Muklius blocked and out.
Well, they were waiting for him, to their credit, but it didn't matter. He made it happen anyway.
Yeah, as Ryan Suji just said, they're tracking him everywhere.
Demetrius Muklius now with 20 kills. 19 serving 20. Rolls it over the net. Gets UCLA off the net. Here's David through the block. Saved along the back line by Hawkes. Tella has to high ball it to Galloway. He's blocked back, the cover by Neusterer. Tella, D-set, Muklius blocked and roofed. What a reaction up front by the Bruins. It was Norris jumping up next to Champlin.
Tella tried to take the blockers with him, but you know what? Norris made a great move to the outside to his left to close that block. Great play.
Yeah, he got out there in a flash. Bruins by 2. Tella on 2, off the block and out. What a play by Galloway to avoid touching it.
Seems like he's playing dodgeball. Huh? The old days of dodgeball? Get out of the way.
Oh my goodness. Right through the wickets.
We're seeing a little bit of everything tonight.
And it's Galloway to serve 20, serving 21. Pass by Rama. They go outside. David hits it long. Was there a touch? Yes, there was. Point UCLA. And Ido David reaches 20 kills.
Tella actually turns the Dixon Chun and says, hey, I got it. I got the touch.
Champlin serves it long.
23rd service error.
Well, you'd have to think down the stretch in set 1, down the stretch in set 3, this crowd was influencing what happened on the floor. Can they do it again here in set 4?
We'll see.
Neusterer to serve. Outside, Rama. He's got 11 kills. This kid is something special.
He really is. 6'8", gets up quick, sets to the outside, really a fast tempo. He's hitting against a moving block. Voss really had to struggle to get out there on time.
UCLA trying to force a 5th here. Norris serves it long. Oh boy, Bruins gifting Hawaii some crucial points here late in this set. And guess who is behind the service line?
Jakob Tella. Who else?
.22 serving 23. Perfect pass by Champlin. Middle set. McHenry. Voss got a touch. So now Shuey gonna set up Muklius. 3 blockers up. And he makes it work.
First time tonight, I think Hawaii has gotten a touch on McHenry. It's allowed them to come out and make a play after McHenry attacks the ball.
Catch your breath. Timeout, Bruins. Tied at 23 in the 4th.
Welcome back, Demetrios Mouklias. Again, showing that will, showing that grit. We saw it last night on a night where Hawaii definitely didn't have its A game against Penn State. And he was trying to just pull his teammates with him. And here tonight, leading the way again, the only hitter in double figures for the Rainbow Warriors. He's got 21. We're tied at 23. Hawaii up 2-1 and trying to bounce back from their first defeat of the season last night against UCLA. Middle set, no, it goes outside to Rama, wrist away and in. Rama takes away the drama because what are you going to do?
Yeah,
he leaves no doubt.
Yeah. He goes, hits high, hard, hits angle, it's down the line, got the push deep. Pretty good passer as well, and Charlie Wade says, you know, I've seen enough. We got to have something special come out of this serve.
Yeah, Charlie Wade still with a timeout left. UCLA with no timeouts. Now, what is very interesting here is if Hawaii is able to somehow pull this victory out, what happens first off at the top of the rankings, right? You have 1, 2, 3, Hawaii, UCLA, Penn State, respectively. UCLA beats Penn State in 5 on night 1 of the tournament. Hawaii loses to Penn State in 4 last night. And if Hawaii is to somehow win against UCLA, what happens between the 3 of those teams atop the rankings?
It's really obvious. You just junk and pull. Paper, scissors, stone, and whoever wins.
Now, the other thing that you have to figure out is if Hawaii were to somehow win this 4th set, what happens to the Outrigger Invitational Championship? Now, it is a tiebreaker system. So, if Hawaii were to win in 4, the championship would go to Penn State.
Yeah.
Obviously, if
Hawaii to win in 5,
it would still go to Penn State. But if UCLA were to win, obviously they'd go 3-0 and they'd win the title. But yeah, I guess that's what happens when you get the 3 top teams in the country. And it's a round-robin-like situation.
That's why I should remind people they're watching a precursor to the Final 4.
Very well could be.
Maybe the final 2 teams. Or
Very well could be.
You know, you could have Long Beach could be in there.
I was going to say, there's another team coming into town next week, and they might have something to say about that.
Exactly. You know, so within 2 weekends, Hawaii fans are going to see arguably the top 4 teams in the country play volleyball right here in the Stan Sheriff Center.
Aloha ball in the 4th. UCLA trying to force a 5th.
Tella tracks it down. Back set, it's Hakas through the block and down.
And we're tied at 24 apiece.
Oh, man. Does it get any better than this? Bruin's been passing so well, no matter what Hawaii servers put up. Bruin's been really passing well.
Oh, the service error by Hakas. And it'll be Aloha ball again for UCLA.
And the Bruin faithful, standing up for set point.
And it's the guy who maybe has the hottest hand, Zach Rama, to serve. And he blasted wrong.
A rare error from the young freshman from Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, this has been a special one in Manoa.
You know, on the year, he's only averaging 1.7 kills per set. Tonight, he's just lighting it up.
I think his average is going to go up. I'm no mathematician. We're tied at 25. G-Voss just gets it over the net. The push set outside. Champlin fading away, dug up by Tella. High ball, here's Mouklias. Oh, he lights it on fire. And they rise. A sellout crowd at Simplify Arena at Stan Sheriff Center. Hawaii leading for the first time in set 4. And Aloha ball for the match.
They've got McHenry up front. They've got Champlin up front.
Pass by Gooch, it pulls Rowan off. Here's David off the block and down.
21 kills for Ido David.
David has been their nucleus. The two of them just trading blows all night long. Nucleus with 22 kills. David with 21.
And guess who behind the line for the Bruins? Been causing issues all night. Almost does it again. Hawkes, what a play by Tella to keep it alive. High ball outside. Champlin hits it wrong. No touch was called, but I think John Spraw is going to challenge either the touch or the in-out call.
I think it's pretty much the in-out, the touch call, which will be a really hard one to get on the camera, on the replay.
Also, no timeouts for UCLA, so this could effectively be working in that same way here for John Spraw. It gives his team a chance to collect their breath.
I totally agree. Notice they cannot come to the sideline. They've got to stay on the court, but Coach Spraw and his staff can talk to the team. I don't think you're going to see a touch here at all.
Well, John Spraw went on record with us, and he says, hey, look, it's almost impossible to see a touch, no touch under these replay system conditions. Do you see a touch there or anything that could lead you to being conclusive enough to overturn the call?
I don't think so. It looks like it's over the hands.
This is probably the best view, but again, these are not static cameras. They're moving with the ball, and so it'll create a greater level of blur. Maybe this angle will help.
Yeah, I just don't think there's going to be a real definitive look.
This is a big call right here.
Oh, yeah, big call. Yeah, there's no touch there. If it would have been anybody, it would have been Galloway there, number one. And it looks like he doesn't come anywhere near it. Yeah, I think this call is going to stand as an out ball, and that it'll be Hawaii's a match point again, their second time.
Here we go. Call stands. And the crowd stands.
They've got a good workout tonight, haven't they?
Aloha ball for the match. Here it comes from Nucleus. Outside, Champlin! Hawaii has done it! A bounce-back victory! That will be remembered for a long time.
One of my keys to the game tonight was, does Hawaii have resilience? Can they bounce back from the defeat, their only defeat of the year? They have certainly shown that this team does have resilience with a capital R. What a match. These two teams are great players, great coaches. And what a great crowd tonight coming off. You got to give a lot of credit to the crowd. And you see the block. Young freshman Nooster in on that one as well. Oh, man.
Hawaii finds redemption for its first loss of the season on the final night of the Outrigger Invitational, taking down number 2 UCLA and getting back to their winning ways. Bank of Hawaii presents the players of the match. I think this is an easy one. What do you say?
I agree.
Ido David. Those numbers should be updated. He has 21 kills, hit 325 with 6 digs, a block,
and a service ace. Demetrius Muklias on the other side, 22 kills, 390, 5 digs, and a pair of blocks. So those numbers not updated, but you get the point. Those two guys led the way for their respective teams.
Yeah, and we can very easily see these two teams again in May in Virginia. But how fun is it to get to see these two teams play in Honolulu in March?
This was a special night in Manoa tonight, C-Mac.
Yeah.
And Hawaii giving the crowd a result that will please them on into the night. A bounce back of epic proportions. Let's send it over to Scott Robbs.
Coach, congratulations. Last night at this time, we were talking about the fact you guys were just a little off last night. It looked like you got those things corrected.
Yeah, we're better. You know, guys were pissed. They knew they didn't play well. We knew we were a better team than we showed, and you know, I really liked the attitude of our guys at practice today. Like I said, they were pissed, and they knew we were going to come out and compete. You know, I didn't know what the result would be, but I knew we would absolutely get a better effort. You know, and how can you lose with 10,000 of your closest friends? The mana, the energy in this building's amazing. Really want to thank everybody for coming out. It was a fun night, it really was.
Demi had a heck of a match, and I watched him even during the timeouts. He was in this match from the start.
Yeah, it really was. You know, like I said, guys were locked in. You know, we didn't give it our best effort last night and stepped up tonight for sure.
Enjoy it.
Thank you. Aloha.
Good on.
Thanks a lot, Scott. So congrats to Penn State. They come out as the champions of this 27th Outrigger Invitational. But what do you do at the top of the rankings? We will find out in a couple of days. C-Mac, I'll give you the last thought here.
Well, I guess my last thought would be thanks to the fans for coming out, like Charlie said. Thanks to these two teams for putting on quite a show. And I would say to the 10,000 fans also, come next week too, because league starts with Long Beach State, and they're like in the same mix as Penn State, UCLA, and Hawaii. The matches will be just as good.
We've said it a few times over the last few years, right? Credit to what Charlie Wade and this coaching staff have built, because this is undeniably the best show in town. Rainbow Warrior Volleyball. And they bring the Hawaiian heat tonight, and they take down UCLA in 4 to improve to 17-1. Next week, they will welcome Long Beach State. Don't forget about the post-game show. A lot for them to break down. But for now, for C-Mac, Chris McLaughlin, I'm Kanoa Leahy. Until next time, we bid you aloha from Manoa.